What's good, party people? Christopher with the Hope Easy Life, and I want to talk about being your own boss, how to get that autonomy in your life. Because for me personally, I've worked many jobs that have required an absurd amount of time. I made good money, but they left me pretty darn unfulfilled. Now, you probably aren't as self-destructive as I used to be, but for me, spending all that time doing something I really didn't want to do, that wasn't fulfilling, that didn't feed my soul, while it brought in good money and it bought me nice things, I was empty. I was dead inside. And so I was heavily addicted to drugs and alcohol. I needed to sort of black myself out and just escape reality altogether so that I could go back and do that grind all over again. I've dealt with incompetent bosses, I've dealt with micromanagers, and ultimately I've been frustrated beyond belief because the world told me, get a good job, make good money, and you'll be happy. But that's not how it worked for me. And I know that that's not how it works for many, many, many people. Now, if you're somebody who absolutely loves your job and loves what you do, this video may not be for you. But if you're somebody who maybe you've got a good job or you've got a steady paycheck, but you're just still unfulfilled, maybe you have to skip the kids' games or recitals every now and again because the boss needs you to do something. Maybe you can't take the vacations that you want to take. Maybe, you don't have the freedom of your day that you would like, then stick around. This video is for you. Now, as I've mentioned in several of my recent videos, I am releasing a book on October 28th called Deadbeat to Easy Street, Escaping the Time for Money Trap. And what this book is this is the culmination, the synthesis of decades of my life and figuring out finally, now over almost 41 years old, how to become my own boss, how to have autonomy over my day. If I want to take a day off, I take a day off. If I want to go out to lunch randomly with some friends, I go out to lunch. If I want to go hiking in the middle of the day, I go hiking in the middle of the day. And I do this because, again, I've created a system, I've created a life that allows me to do it. I am my boss, and I'm a pretty good one, which is what I want to help other people figure out how to do. And that's exactly what the book does, is it walks you through how to become the person that can be their own boss, how to create a business model that frees you of that time for money trap. And there's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of tools and roadmaps and things like that within the book. But in this video, I just want to talk about the simple premise that the only one who is stopping you from becoming the person who lives that kind of life is you. And that may seem a little bit harsh. It may seem a little uncomfortable to sit with, but that's the reality. And it's by taking that extreme ownership over your life that you're going to be able to own your life instead of being, a de facto slave for some corporation that ultimately doesn't care about you and will replace you the second you leave or if you die. And again, I know I'm using a little bit harsh language, but this is the reality. We're all faceless cogs in a machine until we step out of that machine, until we break out of the matrix, right? And so while there's a lot of folks out there, that talk about the matrix, they don't give you the actual prescription on how to break free from it. And I'm thinking of some particular male influencer, red pillars, if you want to call them that talk about just make a bunch of money, mess around with a bunch of women, this type of nonsense. That's not going to leave you fulfilled. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to bring peace and joy to your heart. And ultimately, the way that you're going to be able to bring peace and joy to your heart is by pursuing service to others that you feel called to serve and serving them well. The better you serve somebody, the more money they pay you, and the more people they tell about your products and services. And the more people they tell about your products and services, well, now all of a sudden, instead of you having to chase money, money chases you. And this is how abundance actually works. There's a lot of folks out there, new age community talking about, affirmations and thinking positive thoughts and da-da-da-da-da. And that is a piece of it. But you're not magically going to get the life you want by simply telling yourself about the life you want. You have to actually take action, right? It's sort of the masculine and the feminine coming together in order to achieve that. And so again, that's what my book is going to lay out for you, is exactly how I've done it, the tools I've used, the roadmaps that I've built, so that you can do the same thing for yourself. And why am I publishing this book? Well, it's somewhat selfish. Because when I look at the world out there, I see a lot of people that are dead inside. And because they're dead inside, they don't contribute to making the world a better place. I know it because I've done it. This isn't a thing of judgment. This is simply an acknowledgement of reality. When you burn yourself out working a job that does not fulfill you, well, then when you get done with work, what do? You veg out, you watch screens, you waste time, you don't do anything that could actually be making your life better and make the world better. And the more of us that accept absolute responsibility over our lives, the more of us that step into full autonomy, full creator mode, full ownership mode, the better this world ultimately gets. Because maybe you feel called to serve single mothers, for example, and you see a particular need that single mothers have, and you know that you could come up with a way to help single mothers. And so you start serving single mothers. And then maybe there's another guy over here who's really called to help teenagers because he sees sort of this aimless path that young people are getting stuck into where they don't think there's any optimism or hope for the future. And so they don't take the steps to live a life that will give them peace and joy and happiness and abundance. And so you serve them. And maybe there's another person who serves small business owners because he recognizes that every business ultimately hits sort of a ceiling where in order to scale the business, they need to hire people, but hiring people is expensive, and so it creates that ceiling where they can't get beyond it, and their business ultimately becomes another job where they're having to spend countless hours doing paperwork and payroll and administrative stuff and all sorts of things that have nothing to do with why they got into business. It's just necessary things that need to be done, and they can't hire people to do it for them because, again, that cost and that ceiling. Who knows who it is that you want to help? Maybe it's victims from wars around the world. Maybe it's homeless people. Maybe it's drug addicts. Whatever it is, you can serve these people, and the more of us that find who it is that we're called to serve, and we serve them well, the entire world gets better. That's how heaven gets to earth, right? And it's this, I guess, demoralization that has happened, especially in America, for as long as I've been alive. I've witnessed the absolute demoralization of this population. I've been demoralized. It's taken me a long time, almost my entire life, to finally break free from that. And that is what my effort is with the Hope Easy Life. It is to show how with hope, life becomes easy. And again, that's why this book, Deadbeat to Easy Street, is coming out on October 28th, the 2-year anniversary of my brother taking his life. That was the worst day in my family's life. And now that date is going to mark a turning point where I step into absolute service to other people. And I've got multiple businesses that I have going, just to give you an idea of what I've set up for myself. So I'm an independent life insurance agent. Nobody tells me when to work. I work when I choose to work. Now, that business allows me to create a recurring monthly income called residuals based on the policies that I write. I will get paid for the rest of my life for the business that I write today. Also, I have an AI and website services business where I work with small businesses that are stuck at that ceiling, and I set up automation and AI systems so that they can break through that ceiling and ultimately scale their business, get more of their time back while bringing in more revenue. I also do one-on-one coaching with folks. I do it on multiple levels. I do a free or donation-based system so that nothing that I have to offer is gate-kept. I work with whoever needs me to work with them. And I also have a premium coaching program that probably isn't for you, but it's $3,000 a month, and it's a really intensive one-on-one coaching with me where I show you exactly how I bought my life back and how I found peace and joy in my soul by living through a season of poverty, right? Intentional poverty where I don't keep any money. I give it all away. I go out to a restaurant, I spend 25 bucks, I give them a $25 tip. I see a homeless guy on the street, I give him 20 bucks. I donate to my church, I donate to my charity. I give everything away. But now I'm transitioning to the point of massive resource accumulation, because it's through the massive accumulation of resources that I'm going to be able to establish charities, that I'm going to be able to find the highest quality, most talented individuals to go serve in the darkest corners of the world and lift up as many people out of despair as possible. What I was not able to do for my brother, I am going to do for as many people as humanly possible. Because what I recognize is that this world has a massive despair problem. We've never had more people on pharmaceutical medications for problems between their ears. We've never had more people that are taking their own life, whether directly or through drugs or alcohol. And this is something that I am called to fix on a massive scale. I can't do it alone. I need everybody to help me. But I don't necessarily need them to help me directly, right? I'm not looking to be anyone's boss. I'm just looking to inspire and to provide systems and tools so that you can do what you're called to do. Because if I clean up my corner of the world and you clean up your corner of the world and everybody else cleans up their corner of the world, well, guess what? We've got a beautiful world that we all get to live in and we all get to share. So I'm kind of going off. I'm a little bit intense, but I think this is a good place to leave the video. So we will catch you oh so soon. Peace.